Well, hello there, everybody. Um, we are in the middle of a big snowstorm just starting up here in the Minnesota, Wisconsin area. So let me know, are you guys in like the big snowstorm area? Anyway, we'll get started. I am so glad you're here. Today we are going to be talking about adapted books, and I'm going to go through a quick, easy peasy, step by step tutorial. So I want you first to introduce yourself. So let me know in the comments who you are, where you're watching from, uh, in what capacity do you know someone who's autistic or work with someone who's autistic. Uh, I am a speech language pathologist. I'll go into that more in just a minute. And so you guys just let me know. I'm super excited to be here with you tonight. All right, so we have Florida. Cassandra said it's not snowing yet, but it's coming tomorrow. Natasha from North Carolina. Pamela, SLP from Australia. Thank you for being here all the way from Australia. All right, you guys, I'm seeing the comments coming in now. Awesome. Louise, Central Minnesota. She's going to get hit with a snowstorm too. Edmonton, Canada. Doreen is a director and teacher. Charity, a school OT in Michigan. Oh my gosh, you guys, we have special ed teachers, directors, OT, PT, instructional coach. We have people from Acapulco, Mexico, Australia, Canada, Pennsylvania. You guys are representing all over the world, and I love it. I haven't done a Facebook Live in a while because I'm recovering from neck surgery that I had last month, and it's been going a little slower than I thought, but I am finally up for sitting up here and doing a Facebook Live. I am so happy to be here with you. So thank you for introducing yourself to those of you that have. I am Tara. You might see my name in some places as Tara Tuchel, and now it is officially changed to Tara Phillips because I got married in September to Jason, and so I'm working on getting that changed in all the places, and man, it takes forever to do that. I am a speech language pathologist, and the last 10 years I've been at the early childhood level working with 3 and 4-year-old autistic students. And why do I have a baby picture of myself? If you guys didn't hear me talk about it, tonight is my last night in my 40s. I am turning 50 tomorrow, February 22nd, and I thought, heck, we might as well celebrate tonight together. I'm so happy to be here with you. So that's me as a baby, born in 1973. Do the math, turning 50 tomorrow. In 1998, I graduated with my master's in communicative disorders and my minor in early childhood education. And those were my 2 little babies at the time. Nate is 28 now, and Sophie is 25. And I still feel like they're my babies still. They'll always be my babies, right? Thank you for the birthday wishes. I wore a special sparkly headband just to celebrate tonight. And fast forward to 2023, I have been running Autism Little Learners for not quite 4 years. I started in 2019 after my dad died. I had a lot of grief, and it was kind of taking over my everyday life, and so I needed something to pour myself into and distract me. And I had been thinking about creating resources and selling them online, but after my dad died from leukemia, from Agent Orange, due to his military service, I poured myself into getting this dream started. So I think March or April will mark 4 years. Anyway, enough about me. Let's move on and get this party started because we're going to have fun tonight. We're going to cover a lot. And I said, some of you might have seen, if you have a glass of wine or a glass of beer or pop or water, whatever you have, let's do a toast, and we're going to be super chill and relaxed tonight. All right, let's get going. Okay. So, what are adapted books? Now, some of you maybe have implemented them already. Some of you are looking at just getting going with them. But adapted books provide accessibility. And you've probably heard that word, an accessible playground. You think of children who have physical disabilities, or even having a core communication board on a playground would provide accessibility for those who have language delays or are maybe non-speaking. So accessibility is the practice of making information, activities, and or environments meaningful and usable for as many people as possible, right? And so adapted books are a piece of this. We want to make books and literacy and stories, we want it to be accessible to our students who maybe aren't processing language, verbal language as well. And it may sound like blah, blah, blah if we're just trying to read to them. Does anyone here, I think if you're here, you maybe are having some of these issues where your students, your young autistic students or students with other special needs are unable at this point to just simply sit with you and listen to a story, right? So we want to figure out a way to increase that engagement, and visuals are the way that we can do that. So for our young autistic students, one way that we adapt books is by adding pictures to match to the page, especially with our youngest learners. And this adds structure and predictability, right? Jennifer, you said you're late, and you're glad to be here. I'm glad you're here. Anyone is welcome at any time. There's no late. All right, so let's go through a step-by-step tutorial. So I'm going to go deeper into these, but step 1, simple, choose the books, right? Choose the books you're going to adapt. Step 2, gather the supplies needed. And step 3, assemble the adapted books. Megan said, all of my students love and can concentrate so much better with adapted books. I absolutely love hearing that because books are easy to adapt. It takes, just a little work up front, but then you're going to have them for a long time. Okay, so under step 1 is choose your book or books. And I have this one up because this is the one you're going to get the pieces for tonight. But first of all, when it comes to choosing books, you don't need to go out and spend a whole bunch of money. Use what you have. So use what you have in your classroom, use what you have at home. That's a super great place to start. The second thing is really think about your student's or child's passions and interests. And if you listen to today's podcast episode, I talked all about adapted books, and one of the areas in my 10 reasons to use them talks about the passions and interests. Let me know in the comments. Put in a yes if you knew that I have a new podcast and you've listened to an episode. Put in a didn't know if you didn't know I had a podcast now. I'm on this week was episode 6, so it's very beginning, but I'm also taking questions from all of you that you want answered, and with my husband, the first Tuesday of every month, we're doing a Q&A. So I'm going to be putting out a post either tonight or tomorrow asking for questions for the next Q&A that's coming up. So I'd love to have you submit and see if we can answer your questions. Okay, so those of you that didn't know, all the places, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever, just type in the Autism Little Learners podcast, and I'll see you there. Okay, so this week was all about adapted books, so you'll hear more in depth what I'm talking about here with using the child's passions. So basically, if the child loves the story Hickory Dickory Dock, let's find a story about that. If they love Brown Bear, let's start with that. If they love books about dinosaurs, let's find one about dinosaurs and start with that. So if you're thinking of a specific student that you're going to do this with, think about what their passions and interests are. Board books or paperback books, what do you have? Which ones hold up better in your setting? I know for me, with my 3 and 4-year-olds, board books are way more durable, and that's why I've created adapted books based on board books so that it's really durable. So let me know, you guys, what do you have more accessibility to? Oh my gosh, you guys, my husband he just commented. He said, if you hear loud crinkling noise a minute ago, that was me, Tara's loud and clumsy husband. Sorry, honey. So this is the thing. This is like our ongoing joke. As soon as I'm live on Facebook, Jason drops everything and it like falls and bumbles and bounces off of walls, and it's hilarious. Now, the first couple times when I was really nervous to go live on Facebook, it was not hilarious, but it is now. One time when I was doing a free webinar, Jason, I'm telling him, one time when I was doing a free webinar, he started snoring. I told him to be quiet, and he was so quiet that he fell asleep, and he was snoring super loud, and there was no way I could like get a hold of him to wake him up. It was so bad. Anyway, okay, so you guys are saying you have both board books, paper books. Yeah, Teresa said board books are great with her students. Jana said board books. Yeah, so just decide your student, your class makeup, what you have available, right? And then go from there. All right, step 2, gather the supplies needed. So if you work at a school, you may be able to laminate at school, but if you're a parent or a grandparent or you're a teacher like me and you just want to get it done when you want to get it done, there are options that are not break the bank kind of options. Before I created Autism Little Learners, like when I started, I thought, oh my gosh, I need to buy a laminator and it's going to cost so much. And so this laminator from Amazon is $25.99, and it has lasted me 3.5 years now. I've never had a problem with it. So it's an option that's pretty economical, I think. Casey said, hi, Casey. She said, thrift stores are the best, but I asked colleagues if they have books to donate when their kids were little. Yeah, you guys, putting a post on Facebook to your friends and saying, hey, I'm looking for board books for my classroom. Does anyone have some that they'd like to donate? You'd be surprised how many you get. Or even in your local, like, Facebook marketplace or garage sale site, putting a post like that, you'll probably get a lot of donations. Okay, so then laminating sheets. This is priced based on the Amazon Basics, which I find all their stuff is really good, but $15.50 for 100 pack, and you know you don't go through them super fast. So this should last you, unless you're adapting like 100 books at a time, but usually we do just a few at a time. Christine said buy nothing sites or your local neighborhood are a great place to get books. Kelsey said paper doesn't stand a chance. LOL. That is so true, and I'm going to just do a little cheers to that. Paper doesn't stand a chance in my room either. Jenny Campbell said buy nothing groups are amazing. So check that out, you guys. Or in the chat, you can ask questions to the people that have suggested these things and kind of see. Velcro dots, sometimes you can get them cheaper than this, but just looking today, the ones that I usually get, I like the 3/4 inch. So if they're too small, it feels like the pieces fall off. And with younger kids, I need it to catch faster, if you know what I mean. If they have to spend a bunch of time like getting it right and making sure it's right on, I might lose them. Do you guys hear me on that? Do you have that same issue? Yeah, so these are the 3/4 inch, or sometimes it says like 0.79. But I'll have links for these for you guys, but I just wanted to kind of show you how the couple little things you need to get started, but these things will last a long time. Yeah, Jennifer said, I tried small dots and it was hard on the kids. Yeah. And a couple people have said they use 5 ml size laminating sheets. And so the Amazon Basics laminator, you can set it to 3 ml or 5 ml. And the 3 are like the regular size, and the 5 ml are a little thicker lamination, and they'll be like straighter and more sturdy. So with that laminator, you have the option to buy either one. And then, you guys, I'm going to show you how to use this in a little bit, but this is one of my best finds lately. So you can use packing tape, and I'll show you what for in a little bit. Or I found these label protectors, and think of like a barcode on a library book, and then they put a rectangular piece, clear piece over it. That's what these are, and I've been loving them. I'll show you in just a minute how to use them. Well, we're doing the step 3, let's assemble the book, right? Okay, so now we're actually like ready to make the book. So we picked our book, we have the supplies, now it's time. So where do you find the pictures to put in the book, right? Obviously, it's been my passion, and I've been making a bunch of them, but I don't have everything you need right now, right? It's a work in progress. I'm going to try to have the visual pieces to adapt as many books as possible, but it's going to take time. So you can go on TPT and find pre-made sets. You can go to Google and just put in, like, let's say you were looking for brown bear, brown bear. You could Google brown bear, visuals free, and then I usually say PDF at the end so that I don't get a rabbit hole of links. So sometimes you can find some free ones on there, not always. And the other thing you can do is make your own with Google Images. So for this picture up here, let's say I wanted a picture of us number 7. I mean, you could do it on even a Word document and print it, just a 7. But if I needed a picture of a duck, I could do duck, Google Images, and there you go. You can, and it doesn't have to be this same duck, right? So it's one of those things where play around, see what you can do. I'll tell you more at the end here. I did have an adapted book challenge. How many of you guys participated, guys or gals? I always say guys because I'm from the North and we just Midwest North. And instead of people in the South say y'all, and we say you guys. And we say ope. Anyway, so let me know, did you participate in the adapted book challenge? And if so, did you like it? Okay, Christine said she did. Jill liked the challenge. Okay, so I'll talk about it in a little bit and tell you where you could access that because it's not available right now. But anyway, I digress. So you can also take pictures of the book. And someone gave me a tip. Someone in my membership gave me this tip too. Sometimes on YouTube, you can find someone reading a book, and it shows like the pages of the book up close as they turn them. And she just did screenshots of those pages and then printed them and was able to cut out the characters. So, you know, if it was this book or Very Hungry Caterpillar. So really cool. Okay, so here are a couple pictures of, this is Panda Bear, I think. It's one of the ones that we did in our adapted book challenge. And on the last page, it has all the animals that were in the book. And I literally took a picture of that page and I printed it. And then I cut out all the little animals to match right onto the book, right? So you guys, do you see yourself being able to do something like that? If you're not super techie and it's going to be really hard to Google the images, what about taking pictures and then printing them? Does that feel doable? And the picture on the right with the Santa, that is from somebody that is in my membership, and they made that on their own. So they took pictures, and look at how cute it is. I don't even know how, but she made it the exact same size, and it just matches it picture to picture, which is really great for our kids that need a little more of that concrete matching. Okay, so then we need to laminate the pictures. So whichever pictures, Chelsea's asking for details on the membership. Okay, I'll go back through these comments and try to answer these questions as they come in when I'm done. But Okay, so now we're moving on to laminating the actual picture. So let's say you bought, let's say later tonight, you download the pictures from If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. And this is what it's going to look like, right? So when you print it off, then you're just going to want to laminate it, right? And I have some different options for you if you don't have a laminator. But there is a hack. Let's say you don't have a laminator, you're not going to get a laminator, and you don't have access to a laminator, right? You can cut each of these pictures out by themselves, like cut them out in the squares, and then here you can take packing tape, like literally packing tape, and you can, it takes a little longer, but hey, it's a cheap hack. So you can see how I pulled the tape out and I placed a couple pictures on there. And then I cut another piece out about the same size and laid it over the top. Boom. Then you cut those out and it's laminated. It's not as like sturdy. It bends a little more than if you do regular lamination, but it's protected and it's going to serve the purpose and be just fine. So if you don't have a laminator, try this little hack, right? And the other things you could use are contact paper. Clear contact paper. You can get a roll of that really cheap on Amazon or get it at your local Walmart. Kathy said, Scotch tape, even if you're desperate, which I have been. We've all been there. Oh, and Kathy, you said clear contact paper. Yeah. And then there are like cold laminating sheets. I have all of these things linked in the sheet, the handout that I'll give you. But clear laminating sheets that are kind of like cold lamination. So they're a little more durable and kind of a little shiny. So any of those things will work. You can make, like, which show is that? Where I always said, make it work. It was a fashion show. Is anyone going to come up with it? Heidi Klum was in it. And then the guy said, make it work. Anyway, I can't wait. Someone's going to come up with it. One of you is going to tell me. Jenna said she has used packing tape and it works great. Okay, so once you're laminated or you use your tape, cut all of the pictures out. That's the next thing. You guys, I love you. Project Runway. I'm going to have a little sip. That's so great. Okay. Project Runway. I miss that. Okay, then you're going to want to add Velcro to the back. And the thing, Kathy, make it work. The thing that you're going to want to do with this is really make sure that you have decided if you're going to put soft on the back of the pictures or hard, rough on the back of the pictures. And then just stick with the system. So the one thing that has been brought up to me is if you do the rough on the back of the individual pictures, then you could put it up on like a flannel board or something like that if needed. So something to think about, but just kind of when you're just getting started, sometimes you mess it up a couple times and you're like, I need to have a system. So just figure out what your system is, right? And then you put the tape in the book. Has anyone, okay, if you were in my adapted book challenge, you know what the tape in the book thing is. But if you don't, I'm going to cue you in on a little trick. So I have my book here. This was a freebie I gave out this week. If you go to autismlittlelearners.com/love, I'm giving out a bunch of freebies between like Valentine's Day and my birthday. So be sure to go there and check that. But I don't know if you've had this problem, but if you put the Velcro right on the book, sometimes when you pull this off, the Velcro will come off of the book. Not always, but sometimes that happens. It depends like on the material. So a way to get around that and make sure you don't have that coming off because it's super annoying is put, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this here, put a little piece of packing tape on first and then put the Velcro on top of that. If you do that, it does not come off. So I use packing tape most of the time, and then I found these little circle clear stickers, and they worked for me, but other people that I recommended them to said they were coming off. So I've been kind of looking for something that's easier than cutting all these squares out of packing tape, and that is where I got those labels, and these are going to be in that handout that I give you, but they're big rectangles, and so what I did is just cut them in half and then stick them on the book, put the Velcro on it, and it works so well. These really stick. So, and they cut down a lot of time in prepping because I'm not trying to cut all the pieces out of packing tape. So just another. Okay, Amy said tape on the book is super helpful. My Velcro comes off really easily when the books get cold. Yeah. Cheryl said, love the tape idea. It works really well. Okay, so I love hearing from other people that have tried it and can kind of vouch you guys for like, yeah, that works. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to want to think about is kind of the level of your students or how concrete you need to be. So if you can see where the arrow is pointing here on the Brown Bear book, one of the pictures was printed and put right on the book. So instead of having this white dog and matching, and the dog doesn't look exactly like the dog in the book, you can have an exact match if you print 2 copies of that and then cut 1 copy out and tape that into the book and then put the Velcro on top of that. So just think about it with your students. You know, you might want to have some one way, some the other, so that you can kind of meet all your students' needs with different books. But if someone needs an exact match, that is the way to go. All right, and this is just a picture of putting the Velcro in the book right on top of that little piece of packing tape. Oh, Katrina, no, I'm not saying it right. Katrina? I hope I'm saying that correctly. She said, I like the trick that you use to scratch the rough side in the book to draw the child's attention to it. So let's say I'm going to make it big here so you can see me. Okay, so let's say I have this book and I'm reading it with a student, and they're kind of at the level where I don't have all the pictures out because it'll be too much. I just maybe have this one out, and I have it on the table or on the floor, wherever we're sitting. And they're maybe having a hard time like bringing their attention to the book and knowing what to do with that picture. So this is the trick that she's talking about. So we just kind of go like this. Oh, 5 frogs. And I do that, and sometimes that's enough to just like, oh, yeah, that's right. That's what I'm supposed to do with it. So just a little tip there. I love it. Okay, so back to the slides here. And then you are ready. So Alexa said she put together the snowy day, and she said, this is fabulous. Finished my book for day 1. So it was day 1 of the Adapted Book Challenge. And she showed pictures, and then look at this little one. Totally interested in it. I love it. Oh. Okay, so then there's supplemental activities. So you might have seen in some of my themed adapted board books that they all have these cue cards. And I'm going to come big screen again for a minute. All right, so they all have these cue cards that go with each book. And they can be great for practicing, like, oh, I see scissors in the book. You can use a dry erase marker and circle or cross off. You can smash Play-Doh on it, like a little Play-Doh smash mat. So this is just like an extra that can give you some supplemental things to do with the adapted book. And well, I'll save it for later. I have something super exciting to tell you, but we gotta wait a minute. Okay, so that's one of my little students who was pointing to the owl in one of the books that we were doing. And then I started adding, these are not in like the big themed bundle yet, but when I get some time, I'm gonna add them. I started doing these during that adapted book challenge, but it's bigger pieces. So like this is the size that goes in the book. Hold on. Let me come up here again so you can see. Okay, so this is the size that goes in the book. And then I have bigger pieces. And you're going to get these today for if you give a mouse a cookie. Bigger pieces that you can put Velcro on the back and use on a flannel board, or you could put sticky magnets on the back to use on a whiteboard. But these can kind of help with that if you're at group time or some other time where you can act out or talk through the sequence. And I mean, everyone has so many great ideas for this. So these are just a couple pictures of people that did the adapted book challenge that put together their flannel board options and visuals. Okay, and with the, if you give a mouse a cookie, so at the end here, I'm going to give you the link and you're going to get the visual pieces. The other thing with my adapted book challenge that people started doing is they would print an extra copy of this, and then that's where they would store their visuals. So just another idea. If you are not in my visual supports Facebook group, you need to go over there and join the group, because you're going to see tons of these pictures of people that participated in the challenge and posted what they put together and assembled, and different variations and stuff and things they've kind of added to it. It's really awesome. Like seeing what everyone has done with this is just the coolest thing. So I will, in the comments when I'm done here, post a link to the Facebook group. All right, another thing, I don't know if you guys have seen, I have a brand new growing bundle, meaning I have 4 themes done, but I have a lot more themes to make, and they'll come out as they're ready. But it's the visual art projects. And the reason I'm showing you this is because I'm going to add these in with some of the books. Hopefully, eventually all of them, I can add at least one page or 2 pages of visual art projects. Louise said, just ordered this. Thank you. The visual art projects were actually something I dreamed up after I had neck surgery, and I'm laying there with ice and I'm not able to do anything. And I was thinking about how my students have a hard time with art projects, and I hate it when like the adult is doing it for them. So I was like, how can I make visual art projects that are super simple level, have the directions visually right on it? So anyway, if someone is able to post the link to that growing bundle from Teachers Pay Teachers for people that are asking for it, that would be super helpful. Okay, so anyway, this is what I am giving you to go with the if you give a mouse a cookie. And I'll pull that up so you can see. Okay, so that's what it looks like. You'll be able to print that off. And I have one option with markers and one option with crayons. So that'll be fun. And if you guys use them, send me a picture, because I love to see them done. It makes me so happy. Okay, the Adapted Book Challenge that I've been telling you about, that was held in December. And so it was open for about a month, and now it's not. But there is a way that you can access it, and I'll tell you about it in just a minute. Right here, you could see that Carrie finished the Snowy Day book and just loved it. And then on the dinosaur one, it was like this little dinosaurs book that we adapted. And so this person gathered little dinosaurs and objects to go with it. And I've been really impressed watching the people that have done the Adapted Book Challenge and like all the props that they're bringing in and all the objects. It's really cool. Thank you, Dawn Marie, and thank you, Kathy and Christine, for posting that link. I appreciate it. So this was sent to me today by Jennifer. She's one of my members, and she created, it must be like a Pringles can. She created this little caterpillar to go with it. And I love that she is putting in the visual pieces. Like, how motivating and cute is that? Oh my gosh. Katrina said that was mine with the dinosaurs. Whoop, whoop. All right, another little cheers to that. You guys, since I had neck surgery, I haven't drank, so I'm not going to drink that whole glass, but a couple sips taste kind of nice tonight. I mean, it's the last night in my 40s. Gotta have a little wine. Anyway, so awesome job, Jennifer, on this. So cool. Okay, oh my gosh, it's time for the big announcement. A thing that I have been thinking about while I've been having a lot of ideas and thoughts while I've been on medical leave, because I just haven't been able to go out and do much. And one of the thoughts was surrounding adapted books, because I get messages all the time from people like, when are you going to come out with more adapted books, the visual pieces? I'm using this with my child and he's letting me read to him for the first time ever. Listen to the podcast, today's episode, because you'll get the story on that. It was one of my students this year, 3 years old, and his mom said with the adapted books is the first time he's ever let her read to him. I mean, I was like in tears that day. So excited. Anyway, so I'm like, how can I make adapted books just more accessible to everybody at a low cost? And I came up with something and threw it together over the last 2 weeks. And it's called the Adapted Book Library. Now, you guys, if you had a really cheap price and you could be a part of an adapted book library where you could like log into the hub, go by theme, and find what you need, and make suggestions for books. That's what this is. And I'm calling it Founding Members because the hub is built because I've had time, because I'm just sitting here like doing PT twice a week and hanging out with ice on my neck. But I have put a lot of thought into this, and I put work in building the hub, and now I need to start adding books, and I need to know from you guys what books you want. And anyway, I'll go through this. So this adapted book library, the founding members, it's only going to be open from tonight until Friday night, and it's only $5 a month. And you guys, like, a couple people I've told about it, they're like, no way, you can't do this for $5 a month. You put so much work into that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, the founding members are the ones that are going to help me make it really great. Because you're going to give me what books, you're going to give me the layout, like what works for you to make your life easier. Okay. So the $5 price is only going to be available from tonight until Friday night. And the reason I'm doing it now is because, you guessed it, my birthday. So I don't know. I'm just so excited to offer this at such a low price, like less than a coffee from Starbucks. So the price, when it comes out, after it closes Friday, no one else is going to be able to join. And when it reopens, like when I have it really built and all the books in, it'll go up to $10 a month, and that will be sometime this summer. So this is the only time for $5. But you are going to help me build the hub. You will give me book suggestions on what to add, and access starts immediately, as in tonight, right now. I only have a couple books in there now, but I'm going to, over the weekend, add more and more and more and more. And the full adapted book challenge is inside the hub. So the day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the bonus videos and the books that go with them, the visuals that go with the books that I talk about in that challenge are in there and ready for you to watch and grab right away. So if you want to join, go to autismlittlelearners.com/library. If you sign up, it'll take $5 out now, and then 1 month from now, $5. It's just like a recurring subscription. And what's inside? Now this is the exciting part, right? Because mostly I've done adapted board books, but I'm going to be adding in adapted paperback books too, for those of you that need that, and the interactive visual books. So, and if you have already purchased the themed adapted book bundle, that is part of why I'm initially pricing this so low, is that those of you that have already purchased that, it's going to be okay because this is such a low price, right? So those will be in there. And then when I come up with the next adapted book bundle, it's going to go in here. You won't have to buy it on Teachers Pay Teachers as long as you're part of the adapted book library. Okay, so the other thing, I'm going to go big screen here. The interactive visual books. I have been wanting to make more and more and more of them, and they look like this. And this is one of the freebies on the autismlittlelearners.com/love. And so there's some that are errorless, meaning it doesn't matter which picture you put on which page. That's to kind of teach kids the idea of it. This one is a little more advanced because we're identifying colors. So what color's the kite? Okay, we're going to match the blue to the blue. And so I'm going to have errorless and a level 1 and a level 2. So my big task between now and summer is just adding more and more and more adapted books, interactive visual books, and both the board books and paperback books. So this is where I need you, right? So again, there's going to be interactive visual books, adapted board books, and adapted paperback books. Okay, done telling you about the brand new thing. No pressure, but if it sounds like something you would benefit from or you'd like for your students, you can head over and grab that. www.autismlittlelearners.com/library. LIBRARY. Okay, certificate of completion. You're going to get this for tonight. Oh my gosh, I got the timing almost exactly right. I put 45 minutes on there. And so I am going to drop a link in the comments. If you cannot find this link or you're having issues, maybe it'll let me drop it right now. Let me look. When you get in there, you can just click on that big picture of the mouse, give a mouse a cookie, and that will give you all the visuals for that. You can click on the certificate to get the certificate, and then you can click on the bottom right. It's the supplies. So like the tape and all the little things that I talked about tonight. Okay, I'm going to see if I can give you the link to that. Bear with me here. I haven't tried to put a link in here. Okay, it let me do it. So let me know, you guys, did that link come through? If not, I'll go in and make sure. You can always DM me. So that is the link to all of these. And then there's a lot of comments. There's 464 right now. So I will go in and try to answer any questions that you had throughout. And I really, really appreciate you taking the time to be here. And I hope that the information I gave was valuable and will help you. And when you are done with, oh, Tina, thank you. She said, you have some questions about current members. Okay, I emailed and posted in the membership Facebook group. Members, if you are a member, do not join using this link because you get free access if you're a member. All right. And I added you today, so you should have gotten an email welcoming you into the adapted book library. So let me know if you did not get that. And I'm going to spend the evening answering questions and emails. So Tina, thank you so much for saying that. But I added all of my members already. So, okay, Kathy said the link came through. Joanne, enjoy your birthday. Thank you. You guys, I didn't tell you, like, we're getting this huge snowstorm on my birthday. There's part of it tonight, a little lull during the day tomorrow, and then we're going to get slammed tomorrow. And they're saying maybe over 20 inches. So, yeah, I'm a Midwestern girl. I'm used to snow, but this is crazy. Like, they're already calling off school. And so, anyway, wish me luck. I'm going to be snowed in for my birthday, but it'll be okay. Everything will be okay, right? All right. People are saying, where's the link? I'm going to come in and I'm going to give you each of you the link that have asked, just in case with all these messages you can't find it. So I will get in there right after I sign off. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you for being here. And cheers to you for being an awesome educator and parent and grandparent. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.